Good morning. I've asked Gary to stick around after our group interview to do a little more of an in-depth discussion on 1031 exchange. Gary, how does how does what you do interact with my clients doing a 1031 exchange? So they sell their apartment building, the money goes into escrow. From escrow, it goes into an intermediary, a 1031 exchange company. And then from there, what happens?
From there, we'd like to sit down with your clients, your investors, and determine just what they want to accomplish with the dollars in there. Direct 1031 exchange was literally formed to be a direct conduit from the property owner directly into securitized real estate. And that's nothing more than we work primarily with Delaware statutory trusts in that. So we'll sit down with them and we do a discovery session. We look at, okay, what did you exchange out of? You have 45 days. Once the money gets to the qualified intermediary after it's sold, you cannot take receipt of it, to determine 3 replacement properties. We'll sit down. If you're in multifamily, a lot of clients like to stick with what they know. Multifamily to multifamily. Some say, I don't like multifamily, so let's go something else.
So hold on, I can't touch the money. It goes into escrow, I can't touch it. If I touch it, I get taxed on it.
Correct.
And then you can take that money from my apartment building and move it into another apartment building, or what else? What other options?
And that's what we call like-kind real estate. And you can go from apartments to apartments, you can go from apartments to raw land, you can go from apartments to commercial office, medical office, as long as it's considered a like-kind exchange. So we'll determine what they want to accomplish with the dollars. That's the analyzation of their portfolio. And then we'll go into the, after discovery, the analysis, and then the implementation. And that's what's out there. We'll search the marketplace to determine what they want to accomplish, find properties that fit that goal and objectives, and then we implement. And then our job starts, really, and then it's the monitoring of those assets at that time.
So Gary, if I'm my client watching this right now, I know what they're thinking, which is, hey, I've owned a 10-unit apartment building in Whittier, I've owned a 20-unit apartment building in Fullerton. I'm in control. My wife and I make all the decisions. I don't want to turn the money over to a total stranger. So I don't want to give up control to you or your network. What do you say to the clients that they want to get out of the day-to-day, the phone calls of the plumbing and the problems, the tenants, but they don't want to give up control? How do you address that?
You really, it's hard to say. You really can't have it both ways. We've trademarked retire from running your real estate. That doesn't mean, basically you're giving up the day-to-day, the terrible T's, the tenants, the toilets, and the trash. But you're still running your portfolio. You're analyzing.
Tenants, toilets, and trash, I like it.
The tenants, toilets, and trash. But you're still running your portfolio that you have. And you may go from a 10 unit in Fullerton to a part of a multifamily in Richmond, Virginia, maybe medical office in Houston, Texas, a dialysis center here in California, or a commercial office building in Florida, whatever it may be. The nice thing about it, it's diversification. But
So
you're
Gary,
still monitoring the results of that.
Okay, as far as the IRS is concerned, if I own a 10-unit apartment building in Fullerton and I own a share of a dialysis machine, dialysis property in Phoenix, the IRS still considers me the same way from a tax perspective,
That's
right?
correct, Jim. It's still considered like-kind real estate. And until you sell that and take money out of it, the gains are all tax deferred. And that's really the beauty of a Section 1031 exchange. And 1031 exchanges have been around since the 20s, so it's nothing really new. The minute you take money out of the real estate, it's considered taxable. But I think the only one of the few things I found great about dying is that when you pass, your beneficiaries will get a stepped up basis in that real estate. So all your gains, the tax on that goes away. The depreciation that you've enjoyed all those years, that doesn't get recaptured. Your beneficiaries get a stepped up basis in that. And so that's the only few things about dying that I found not too bad.
Typically, what kind of interest rate can you consider on your money? So I sell my building, I have $1 million, I give it to your organization. What kind of a range are you looking at right now?
Well, really what we've done when we're analyzing a portfolio, we're finding most property owners are getting definitely less than a 3% return on their equity. The properties that we can put them in the portfolio of DSTs range from 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5 in current cap rate scenarios So that is going from, I'm not gonna say a mom and pop property, but we're going from hands-on property at 10 Unit in Fullerton to institutionalized properties with that.
So if you really do the numbers, aside from appreciation, the rate of return is a lot less than 5, 6, 7%, depending on how, because people don't compare apples to apples.
Right. Your current rate of return, we're finding that by doing the exchange and going into institutional properties, you can sometimes double, maybe triple the rates of return you have on your current portfolio.
So if you call me, I will have Lisa do a market evaluation for you so you can find out what kind of sales price you can count on. And then from there, we can do a net sheet. And then you can get a hold of Gary and say, hey, Jim said I can sell it for X, X minus my loan and expenses is Y. Give Gary the Y, and then Gary can tell you how much in monthly income you can get. Passive investments, they call it mailbox management. We just go to the post office or your mailbox and you get a check, or it's direct wired into your account.
Yeah, and it's even actually not, it used to be mailbox money, now it's ACH'd into your checking account on. And if you have 5 properties, you're gonna get 5 ACHs on that. And that's really important to do, is that we'll take your net cash, and then we like to do a return on equity to determine what type of rate of return is your money working hard for you?
So
Or is it lazy money?
Sell your property, tax-free, and get a great return. You would not charge for an analysis.
No,
So
sir.
you could get an dollar amount, show them some possible properties, and then give them a rate of return on those.
Definitely, we'll do the discovery session to determine what they have. We'll analyze the rates of return on that, and then an associate of mine will sit down and put a portfolio together and show them exactly what the current market has to offer at this time. It's a dynamic market, it's constantly changing. A property that's here today probably won't be around for 30 days, so we're constantly updating those portfolios.
What's the website of your company and how do we get a hold of you?
It's www.direct1031exchange.com, and my direct dial number is 720-358-1031. Or
Could you
they can
repeat that?
email.
Go ahead.
They can email me at gflater, F as in Frank, Later, at direct1031exchange.com. And once again, the number is 720-358-1031.
Have me analyze the value of your property. Give Gary a call to calculate what kind of returns you could have. Stay in real estate, keep your tax benefits, and don't worry about tenants,
Toilets,
toilets,
trash.
and trash. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.